What's going on, Bigger Pockets? It's Matt Faircloth. So I am standing in one of our apartments and the tenant's already vacated and we've turned the unit and it's now ready for lease again. And this opens up the opportunity to have a conversation with you guys about what you need to do to turn an apartment quickly and to have it ready for market and to where you don't miss anything in the process. So watch this video at its conclusion because we're gonna talk about a lot of cool stuff that you guys have to do when you turn an apartment every time. So obvious stuff. The first thing you got to do when your tenant moves out, and unfortunately this one was an eviction, but whether a tenant moves out or not through an eviction or voluntary or whatever, the first thing you need to do is contact the local utility company. If it's an eviction, the odds are they weren't paying you. If they weren't paying you, they probably weren't paying the utility bill either. And so there's probably a back balance in the utility. You don't want to inherit that back balance, so you want to call the utility company immediately, take the utilities out of the tenant's name, put them in your name. The reason why you want to do that is you want to have the utilities get shut off. I've learned the hard way about that happening where we took over a property from a tenant that had moved out. Utilities were on when we came in, no big deal. We started to turn the unit around and get it ready for remarket, and the utilities got shut off, and that slowed us down another week to get the utilities turned back on so we could finish the turn, put the heat back on, turn the electricity on. So as soon as you find that a tenant's vacating, that they're out, call the utility company, get the utilities in your name the day that the tenant's out so that you can ensure that you have good utilities so you can have electric and water, gas if you need it for the heat during the turn process. So once you've got these utilities in your name, you want to go in and do his property inspection. Again, if it's an eviction, they likely left some things behind. And so in this unit, I'll walk over and turn this way. In this unit, they left this whole living room full of furniture. Unfortunately, I didn't get in here to shoot this with you guys. I would love to show you what the lovely presents they left, but sometimes tenants will leave you their possessions behind. So the first thing you gotta do is when a tenant vacates, after you do utilities, second thing you do is do a full clean out. And that means just get their possessions out. Not a clean it for rent ready, just get the bulk out. They left the sofa in here, it's some possessions upstairs and stuff like that. Get that out of the unit. Now, if you've got their agreement that they don't want those possessions back, or if they're in communication with you, then let them come and take their stuff. There's laws. I've shot videos for Bigger Pockets on this about what to do with the tenant's possessions once they've moved out. But abide by your local laws on that, but get it out of the unit so that you can start the turn process. While you're cleaning out the unit, you want to simple stuff like, this is the kitchen, clean out the kitchen, wipe down the surfaces and stuff like that. Then open the drawers and you might find that they left things behind, nothing in there, but guess what? When you look in here, you might find that a tenant left something. Well, this is a nebulizer. They might need this. So if you want to be a good citizen, call them up, say, listen, you left your medicine here. You might need that. So call them up and ask them if they need it. You might find they left some things behind that maybe are not important to them and you can toss it, whatever. Check their fridge, make sure the fridge is nice and wiped down. A lot of people make the mistake of unplugging refrigerators. Refrigerators can get nasty if they don't have electricity to them very quickly. They can get bugs, they can get infested. If I have power, I tend to just leave them plugged in. Right? If you've lost power, you got to do a really good clean out and service of the fridge because refrigerators can attract bugs and pests and things like that, especially if they've got some food in them. Believe me, I've dealt with that with fridges that have been sitting for a couple weeks, with no power in them and food sitting inside. That's pretty much a lost refrigerator right there. But make sure that utilities are on and make sure that the fridge is nice and cleaned out. Because the longer food sits in there, the rottener it's going to get, and you may lose your fridge if you let your food rot in that fridge quickly. So when you do your clean out the stuff, clean out the big bulk items. Look for possessions behind the tenants may have left behind unintentionally they might need, and clean out your fridge or oven, things that could attract bugs, that can attract future problems if you don't get those things addressed immediately. The next thing you want to do is touch up paint. Now, we paint all of our properties the same color. This is the same antique white you will find in anything that my company, the DeRosa Group, is in charge of pretty much in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Our other apartment buildings have standardized colors that those property managers agree to, but this is our Pennsylvania and New Jersey color that we use. And the reason why we do that is so when a tenant moves out, we can just have a guy or girl run through here with a paintbrush and just touch up paint, little brush up. And then you don't have to repaint the entire unit, but you do need to touch up paint because things that get lived in tend to have issues, right? They tend to have blotches and little evidence of life on the wall. Let's talk about an evidence of life. Come on over here, right? These people had a young child. Yeah, they left me a fingerprint here, as you can see the young kid's handprint right there. So our maintenance staff needs to come back and touch over things like that, because you have to bring the property back to just where a lot of the remnants of the prior people are gone. And also, new people that move here are going to see that, and they're going to look at it as dirty or whatever. Really, all you need to do is just touch it up. Right? So touch-up paint your entire unit. If you have to repaint everything, then make sure you standardize on your paint colors to where you minimize your amount of times you have to repaint. But just a touch-up paint. Touch-up paint, step 3. Let's keep moving to step 4. So sometimes tenants leave things that are of value, and it's just too much for them to have to bother with ripping it out or taking it out to take with them. That shower head right there is a swanky shower head. We didn't put that in. That's one where like the innards come, I think I can do it. The inside comes out, you can do this thing, you put it back in and all that. That's a nice shower head. We didn't put that in. The tenant that was in here left that in here. So we're gonna leave that. Of course, I'm not gonna take it out and take they took the old shower head, put it in the closet, and they left this one here. We're gonna leave this. It's like a free upgrade to the unit. Sometimes tenants will leave things behind that are fixtures. This is a fixture. This becomes part of the property once they attach this. They really didn't have the right to take it out anyway. Now, had they took it out, put the old one back on, we wouldn't have known any better, but they left it here. So that becomes part of the property, and it's actually a minor upgrade that they did. So if the tenants leave things behind that are upgrades to the unit, leave it. I mean, thank them. Send them a thank you card. Send them a birthday card or whatever. But that's a little thank you for leaving that behind for free for us. So if you find things like that, go ahead and leave it. That's step 4, is find things that might add value that got left behind. So step 5, once you've got, let's go through the list. Get the physical stuff taken out. You've looked for their possessions. You've done some touch-up painting. Possessions they might want, by the way. Then you've done your touch-up painting. Then you've looked for any features that they've done that are going to add value that you want to keep. So now you pretty much got a turned unit. You got the possessions out. You've made sure that everything else is in working order. Appliances are in working order. Then you want to secure the property. We're here in one of the bedrooms, and this is real deal. I'm walking through here and I notice, hey, window's open. That's not good. So make sure the property. There you go. Make sure the property is secure and locked. Okay? There we go. Next time bring the blinds up, we'll just stick your hands through like Matt did, okay? Make sure the property is secure. Windows are locked, doors are locked when you leave, because at the end of the day, it's no longer your prior tenant's property anymore, so you don't want to give them the opportunity to come back and visit the place, or for their neighbors or somebody else in the neighborhood to come back and visit the place as well. You want to have the property nice and secure, that when you start doing showings again for this newly vacated unit, it feels nice and secure as well to create that feeling. So let's go to the last step. And the last thing you want to do, guys, is a final cleaning. Come in, mop the floors, wipe everything down. Wipe down all the surfaces and the countertops and the mantle and the vanities and everything, and just wipe everything down, vacuum the carpets, clean the property out, and get it ready for showing. That's the last thing you want to do. Do that, do the cleaning, and then do a little plug-in smelly thing, which we've got in here. I can't do the smell factor here on a video, but put something in to make the property show finally and smell good. The reason why you do that last, and people are like, well, why'd you clean the place twice, Matt? You cleaned out other possessions. Couldn't you just clean it again then? You could. But remember, the other stuff that I did some touch-up painting. Maybe you have to do some other repairs. That's gonna make a mess. Touch-up painting makes a mess. Unfortunately, people drip the paint, stuff like that. So we like to do cleaning last. Like final cleaning, ready for somebody to move in. Now this unit is move-in ready. This is a move-in ready unit because we did the cleaning, we did the smelly stuff with the plug-in smells, and now we're ready for a showing. And it's only been on the market for a little bit. We're already getting some leads, so I think this unit will go. And if you follow that process I just gave you guys, you should be able to turn a unit that wasn't completely trashed. You should be able to turn it around in a week or less. To have it back out for market. The mistake that some people do is they will start marketing the unit when it's still trashed, when the prior tenant's stuff is still in here before it's been touch-up painted. Put your best foot forward. Take that week to really expedite and get through the unit turn, then start showing it afterwards, because I can promise you'll get better rents and better tenants if you market the property when it's really move-in ready. So leave other comments down below. Maybe I missed something, maybe I didn't, but if I did miss something, write it in the comment box below on what you guys do for turning your units and how you can turn a unit in less than a week after a tenant moves out. I'd love to hear from you, or leave any thoughts that you guys have in general on this. Thanks for watching Bigger Pockets. Appreciate you guys. Have a great and profitable week.